Hi, this is Chef AJ, and I'm so happy that you're joining me here today. You know, the fact that you have not given up, that you're ready to reboot and take action, that really speaks volumes. But before we get into exactly how you can reboot your weight loss and make it all work for you, let me tell you a quick story. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was on the phone with my brother. As you probably know by now, I grew up in a very obese family. I saw my mom try everything to lose weight, and I do mean everything. But sure enough, the weight would always creep back on. As a child, I saw my grandmother get her legs amputated from diabetes, and the pain and the agony was just almost unbearable. It was just a part of growing old in my family, I thought. And then once I learned the truth and all that I've shared with you in this video series, you can imagine how excited I was to share it with my brother. He was a brilliant man. He graduated #1 in his class at Princeton and became a medical doctor, and he had the IQ of a genius. But he loved food as much as I do. And just like me, he had been overweight his entire life. So there I was on the phone with my brother telling him about calorie density and how it's helping me lose weight without starving or counting calories or portion control. You can imagine how excited I was. Now, for a brilliant man like him, understanding the science was easy, and he knew it made perfect sense. All he had to do was take that knowledge and run with it. But unfortunately, that never happened. He would eat healthfully, start losing weight, and he'd relapse. Broken down, he'd confess that the temptations were too much for him to handle. He passed away a few years ago, obese and sick, and it's really a sad reminder of the power of food addiction. The processed food we face today can literally be a death sentence, especially if you're susceptible. When you crave something that's bad for you and you consume it even though you know it's not good for you, well, that's the definition of addiction. I, for one, consider myself a food addict. Now, I know it's a terrible term, but for many of us, it's accurate. And if you're in the same boat, if you struggle with cravings, if you've yo-yoed despite your best efforts, if you feel frustrated, hopeless, lost, then I really urge you to watch the rest of this video, because I want to share with you the key to implementing all that you've learned in the previous videos without feeling overwhelmed. I totally get how this may seem like a monumental task, because I felt the same. I would have never thought that I would be satisfied in eating low-calorie dense foods. I mean, I was a pastry chef, for crying out loud. The last thing I wanted to do was give up my treats, my own recipes, turn my back on what I had built my career on. So when I was talking to Dr. Lyle, with my 52nd birthday approaching, he could feel that I was hesitating. What he did next, I guess, was reverse psychology, and it may change your life. Instead of turning the decision to eat healthfully into that big, gigantic thing, we turned it into a bet, an experiment. I would try this new way of eating out for just a few weeks, and I would see how it went. And if I wasn't losing weight and loving the way I felt, then he was going to treat me for my birthday. You see how that works? All I had to do was say yes to an experiment that I couldn't lose. I'd either lose weight while eating a ton of food, and if it didn't work for me, I'd get a treat of a lifetime. Well, of course I said yes. And guess what happened? This fun experiment is still going on. I never got that birthday treat, but instead of being treated for a day, I wake up grateful and full of energy every single day. And while I lost the bet, I won in life. This reverse psychology may seem simple, but it's really beyond powerful. Instead of stressing about the details or moments in the future that may never come, you get to enjoy the moment and just do what you know is good for you. And if it doesn't work, no harm. You can always go back to the way you were eating before, and in the process, you learned a little about yourself and found maybe a few recipes that you enjoy and maybe lost a few pounds. And that's how you should approach this, as an experiment, a game. Of course, when you play to win, but there's no pressure. You see how this works? It's pretty cool, isn't it? So you've learned the strategies to win this game in the last few videos. You've turned what may seem like an overwhelming task into a game. Now all you need is a little fuel to power you through. I call this fuel the why that makes you cry. Now, what is your why? Why are you here? What drives you to want to reboot? Now, take a second and really think about it. What you want to do is find a strong emotional why, a reason that is so powerful it literally makes you cry. Now, for me, I found my reason when I hit my rock bottom. One day, I was walking through the hallway of a clean, polished tile building, and then whoosh, I slipped on water, broke my knee, and I found myself in a wheelchair for about 4 months. So there I was, obese, bound to a wheelchair, unable to do anything. Crutches couldn't take my weight, and I certainly wasn't able to pull myself up from my wheelchair. And it was really humiliating. I relied on my husband to help me go to the bathroom, to wash me, to get me into bed, to get me out of bed. And that's when I saw my future. I knew that if I didn't change, I'd end up in a wheelchair soon enough, being a burden to the man who stood by my side through all these years. So I swore to myself that if I ever found a healthier way to eat, a sensible way to lose weight, that I would go all in. And when Dr. Lyle explained to me how to apply calorie density in my life, well, that's exactly what I did. I went all in, and the last years have been the best years of my life because of it. So before you start your experiment, think of your reason why. What comes to mind? What moves you deeply? And when you have that, hold on to it, because it will be your driving force over the next few weeks and months. Last, but certainly not least, having a coach or a mentor will make it so much easier to get the results you're looking for. For me, I had the privilege of having met Dr. Lyle, Dr. McDougall, and Dr. Goldhammer through my work as a chef at their events. You can imagine that being immersed in their content and having the ability to ask them questions played a huge role for me. So whenever you can, find a coach or a mentor who resonates with you. And that's it. My 3 tips to turning your life around without overwhelm. Treat it like an experiment, find your reason why and hold on to it, and find a coach who resonates with you. The last point may be the most difficult, and unfortunately, you just can't call up Dr. Lyle or Dr. McDougall or Dr. Goldhammer. But if you're interested in me helping you on your journey, I have the next best thing. Now, this isn't free of charge, but just like Dr. Lyle proposed a risk-free bet to me, I want to do the same thing for you. That's why I've created the Ultimate Reboot Program. And you don't just get me as your coach. You'll learn from Dr. Lyle, Dr. Goldhammer, and John Pierre, who may be the only celebrity personal trainer who's 100% in line with how we eat and live. This really is the dream team when it comes to achieving permanent weight loss without going insane. You know Dr. Lyle from my story, and not only has he helped me personally, he's one of the leading authorities on evolutionary psychology, which is a unique approach to understanding how our brain and instincts work and finding solutions that you can implement at home. Dr. Alan Goldhammer is the founder of the True North Health Center, and they've helped over 30,000 people in their facilities, everything from obesity to more serious diseases. And he knows all about making weight loss an effortless side effect of healthy living. And then you'll be coached in person by John Pierre, who has a unique approach to fitness and knows how to make it fun, even if you hate traditional exercise or even if you can't exercise at all at the moment. Plus, he knows every trick in the book, from essential oils to mindset hacks to vision boards. And of course, I'll be there with you every step of the way, so you'll be in good hands. Now, here is how the Ultimate Reboot Program works. Over 30 days, you'll learn how to lose weight, keep it off, and disarm cravings step by step. Each day, you'll receive a new module with a short assignment. That way, you'll make continuous progress and build momentum without feeling overwhelmed. We'll get into the details of what to eat, cook together. The docs will teach you how to expand your health span. You'll master the psychology of weight loss, discover how to diffuse social situations, start moving and strengthening your body, learn about the most potent natural appetite suppressants, turn your home into a safe haven, get strategies on eating out to be inspired, and more. And we're throwing in some bonuses that we never offered before. In fact, you'll get access to many highlights from our in-person conferences that we've thrown over the years, and that means you'll get access to the most important information shared at our private in-person events that others have paid thousands for. And because this is the ultimate reboot, meaning this is the last time you'll ever have to lose weight again, we've decided to do something we've never done before. If you've followed me over the years, you know that I've never created a meal plan that tells you exactly what to eat, mostly because with this way of eating, you really can eat whatever you want, whenever you want, and how much you want, as long as you use the right ingredients. There's no rules. You do you. That's how you succeed long term. But because this is a reboot program where I want to get you back on track fast, I'm adding 4 weekly meal plans. That means you'll have recipes, shopping lists, and instructions on what to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout the whole program. I've never done this before, and of course, you'll still learn the kitchen basics, and we'll have cooking, follow-alongs, etc. But I wanted to go the extra mile for you and give you everything you may need to reboot in the fastest way possible. So now it's up to you. You have 2 options. Option 1, you can take what you've learned throughout this free video series, and I know you'll be able to achieve incredible results just from these 4 free videos. Or you can take option 2 and let me and this dream team of Dr. Lyle, Dr. Goldhammer, and John Pierre help you every step of the way. And because I know how it feels to be on the fence, I want to make this a no-brainer for you. Dr. Lyle invited me to a bet where all I could do is win, and I want to do the same for you. Your investment here today is covered by a no question asked money back guarantee. We've taken all the risk. We've put together the dream team in weight loss. We've laid it out for you step by step. All you have to do is say yes. So let's do this. Let's run this experiment and see what happens. Does that sound fair? Great. Then click below and secure your spot right away. And hurry, because once we close registration, you will no longer be able to join for possibly another year. And we may never offer all these bonuses again, because at the moment, John Pierre is limited in how and where he can train clients. So we've been able to get him and organize live group coaching calls with you. So click below now and have a look at all the details. And I can't wait to connect with you in person during the program. Thank you so much for joining me for this video series. I hope you learned a lot and you feel motivated to take the next step, whether you decide to join me right now or not. Much love and kale. Hopefully see you soon.